Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Mamata Banerjee government of West Bengal today introduced the anti-rape bill, which is known as Aparajita Women and Child bill, which proposes capital punishment for individuals convicted of rape and if their actions lead to victim's death or leave the victim in a vegetative state. Now, it also mandates a life sentence without parole for those convicted of rape and gang rape. Now, what does this bill aim to do? It aims at quick investigation, fast delivery of justice, and enhanced punishment of the guilty. Now, while this bill was being introduced today, Mamata Banerjee herself demanded the resignation of the Prime Minister, Home Minister, and the Chief Ministers of the BJP ruled states over less effective anti rape laws. So we'll try and understand the political aspect of this bill. We'll try and understand the legalities because it is said that this particular bill aims to also plug the loopholes of the central legislation. So, does this bill put Mamta a league above the rest of the leaders, a league above the rest of the political parties? Many BJP leaders have said that she's doing dramabazi or she's is just a drama, by introducing this kind of a bill. So we'll try and understand all of this. Joining me now is Arindam Das, who's a veteran lawyer at the Kolkata High Court. Thank you so much for joining. We have Samir Purkaista, who's a senior editor with the Federal, and I'm also hoping to be joined by Devashish Chakravarti, who's a political commentator. He'll join us in a bit. But I'll start with Arindam Das. That Arindam, how do you really see this anti-rape bill? Do you see this as some kind of a watershed moment? Because the way Mamata Banerjee spoke, that the other laws have been less effective, and especially she's talked about states like Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat, where crime against women really go unaddressed. So, does this bill really make some sort of a difference when you compare it with the laws which are already existing?
I don't think so initially, because I would beg to differ in that point. Because basically, this bill is some kind of a clarification being given to the BNS and all. We know that the new Criminal Act, which all the three acts of the criminal, basically jurisprudence or the jurisdictions of the criminal law, has just changed. The provisions are already there; it is existing. Now, being an advocate from the Kolkata High Court and being a citizen of West Bengal, what is the demand of the hour is justice. And I cannot find out from my rarest of the rare dream that this new bill can suffice that cause now. Why I'm saying so? Because the people are asking for justice. We have the infrastructure, the existing law is there. But now, if you count down the start from the day 9th it happened till today, the victims has the body has been disposed of quickly. That couldn't have been done. Why is it done? Because the existing law was there that you have a provision, you cannot do everything. The procedure was there, it was not followed. Why? Do we need a law for that? Definitely no. Now, after that, also, the High Court has given the investigation to CBI. But till now, has the CBI been unfolded the entire story? Till now, the answer is no. Because me, as a citizen of Kolkata and others, we don't believe that one person would have been able to do such a heinous crime. So there must be some other people involved. That is a common perspective and common thought among the citizens. And that's why the people are asking for justice. We don't need a new law for that. Because
Right. So you're
only
saying,
bringing a
so
law,
what I'm able to understand from what you're saying, that this law will not make any sort of a difference. If they had wanted to expedite the justice, they could have easily done. There are enough provisions in the existing laws.
exactly. And the other part is a criminal law falls under the concurrent list of the Constitution. So for this bill getting approved and coming as an act, there is a long procedure for that. So I don't think, because this is not a case of rape for the first time. After this incident happened, there are multiple cases of molestation and rape which have been reported as well. So only an act and a bill cannot do that. We have the existing infrastructure. Do we have the, because now Kolkata police in West Bengal there are two different branches of police. One is the West Bengal police and the one is the Kolkata police. Kolkata police is considered the elite class of force in our state at least. So if they are not able to solve a problem, then how can we expect? Because investigation is a major part. When does the question of punishment comes? When you are putting evidence, you are putting this person was involved, then the question of punishment comes. And that person who has committed the offense has got a natural defense. His principle of natural defense is going to be violated.
No,
So
but
all the
Arindam,
procedures are enforced.
the big talking points which are coming from TMC, as what Abhishek Banerjee also tweeted, even Mamata Banerjee has been saying, and if you look at the salient features of this bill, it talks about a quick investigation, it talks about a fast delivery of justice, and enhanced punishment of the guilty. All these things could have been done without bringing in this anti-rape bill.
I agree with you. The existing infrastructure, the existing law supports that. But for this quick justice, you cannot just put one man behind the bar. What had happened? Why there is outcry among the people? Why the citizens are angry? Out of this, on the first day of investigation, the second of investigation, you hold one of them and say this is the main person. But after that, the CM herself has disputed that she also doesn't believe that only one person can commit it. The police force is also saying they have a doubt in their mind that if a single handed person could have committed this kind of crime. So, what does it mean? There are other elements, other people's involved in it. So, have we been able to crack that? No. So, what will the new act do in this? The people are simply looking for justice. They are not looking for any law. Justice has to be given on the current infrastructure, and now this is a bill. What about this victim of the Arjikar, which we all are wanting justice? This will take a shape, it will come, it will go, whatever it happen. It's not going to happen today. So, this, because we have seen when the IPC and everything was transformed, whatever the cases the IPC was lodged, that will be done trial by the IPC only. So, in the existing force, nothing is going to give relief to this Arjikar. We
Right.
want justice for this Arjikar victim. And for that, as per my personal opinion, being an advocate, I don't think there is a requirement for a new law. The
Okay.
existing
So
law has to be
that's an
enforced.
important point. That's an important point you made, that there is no requirement of this kind of a law. But another thing which Mamata Banerjee has been
Let
saying, and which
court in
Abhishek Banerjee
function.
also spoke about, that this
Yes,
bill
it is a
plugs the
part, everything, the
loopholes.
judiciary, the
No,
investigating agency,
right.
every has wants to work. Today we are
No,
discussing about it because it's the issue.
yeah, Arindam. So if you can hear me, I quickly wanted to understand from you that does this bill plug the loopholes of the central legislation? Very quickly, and then I'll go to Samir.
No, and I don't think so. The central legislative, it's a very new act. We know for a legal jurisprudence, only 2 3 months cannot suffice that. So
Right.
sufficient time has to be given to act to see how it performs. So without giving them the time, just topping up the punishment doesn't resolve the issue.
Now, Samir, there are two things which Arindam has just said, that there are already existing provisions in the law, and had they really some real intentions to give justice to the Arjikar victim, they could have easily given. But the fact that they have gotten a new law, is Mamata Banerjee trying to cover up her shortcomings, cover up the shortcomings, as far as the investigation is concerned, covering up for the shortcomings of the police, the entire process, the way they have gone about this Arjikar case. So, is she trying to cover up her shortcomings by bringing in a law like this, and also then demeaning the Prime Minister, demeaning the Home Minister, demeaning the Chief Ministers of other BJP ruled states, saying that, look, I am the one to bring in a law like this, but you guys are not effective enough to handle crime against women. Is she trying to say that?
Yes, Nilu. But before coming to that, I'll just like to add on what Advocate Das has said. See, the conviction rate of rape cases in India is dismal 26%. So this poor conviction rate is not because we don't have proper, stringent law or the legal framework. The root of the problem is this shoddy investigation, and this bill, I think, will make the watertight investigation more difficult, as it emphasizes on quick fix justice. That the investigation should be completed within 21 days from the date of filing the initial report. So, such hasty investigation may leave behind loopholes for the defense lawyer to exploit. So this kind of quick fix model is good for scoring brownie points, but not for delivering justice. And I think the intention of the Mamata Banerjee's government is that to score a brownie point. See, the introduction of this bill itself is at this intention behind introduction of this bill at this point is also very questionable. it appears that the government is more keen to diverting the attention from the main issue that has triggered the massive protest over the Arjikar incident. As Advocate Das has rightly pointed out, people are frustrated and angry over the Arjikar incident not because of delayed justice. There is the people are doubting the very intention of the state government, the motive. They think this the perception here is that the government is trying to hide something. They are trying to shield some culprits, and this perception is not entirely misplaced, because this culture of shielding the guilty linked with the ruling party does exist in the state.
Right.
And unfortunately, the state government, instead of addressing those things, we don't see any steps so
But
far.
Samir, right. But Samir, one quick point, and then I'll go to Devashish Chakravarti, who's joined us. Samir, that this kind of a political grandstanding, which Mamta was trying to do today, that she was demanding the resignation of the prime minister, she was demanding the resignation of the home minister, the chief ministers of the BJP rule states that look that your laws are not that effective, and I look like a cut above the rest by bringing in a law like this. So is she trying to silence the anger of the people by bringing in a law like this, at the same time politically putting down the BJP? Are these the two main objectives behind bringing in this law as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned?
See, this crisis is basically an administrative crisis. There were loopholes in the investigation from the beginning. There are allegations of corruption in the health department, and so on and so forth. But instead of tackling this issue administratively, she is trying to deal it politically, trying to take on the BJP, blaming this thing center for not introducing stringent law, as if they the just bringing law will solve the entire problem. The problem, this Arjikar incident should not be seen in isolation. This is a pent up, this is an outburst of pent up anger accumulated over the years, over this culture of political impunity. And unless and until that is addressed, I don't think this protest is going to die down that soon. And
Right.
more she try to deal this politically, I think she that will cause more trouble for her party and her government.
All right. Well, let me come to Devashish Chakravarti. That Devashish, what would you really say to the aims and objectives? Why Mamata Banerjee has brought in a law like this? We've been discussing for the last almost 14-15 minutes what Arindam also said and what Samir said, that this law looks like an attention diverter. She's trying to silence the anger of the people. But then at the same time, she's also into some kind of a political grandstanding, telling BJP that, look, you are not doing enough. But as far as the women are concerned, I am trying to champion this cause. What do you think is the aim and the objective of Mamata Banerjee by bringing in a law like this, which is called the anti-rape law?
If you review this law contextually, it is true that in order to divert the attention of the people, hostile people, entire state has revolted against her misrule, and particularly on the case of Arjikar Junior Medico, who was killed, was raped and murdered so brutally. Entire state, entire population, not only in West Bengal, entire India, a global protest is going on just to stop them, just to divert their attention. She very cleverly has done that. My basic point is that however stringent the law could be, you can hang anybody as you like, as you are telling, that death sentence, life imprisonment, all these things are good words. But tell me, even with all these stringent laws, can you stop rape? Rape is a cultural problem. You have to face it culturally. It is basically, you see, there is male chauvinism everywhere. the Brahmanical system, the superiority of maledom. The girls are taught from the beginning, from their birth, that they have to look below. What is this? Our language is sexist. Our culture is sexist. Our culture is predominantly a Brahmanical belief system where male domination is always there. And coupled with all these things, India has been a very good harvesting place for this rape culture. Now, in order to stop rape culture, laws, legal provisions is one of the way. But then, how do you fight a cultural problem? Politically, culturally, you have to take up the matter. Therefore, beyond punishment, we have to see. So, there are lots of differences like death penalty. Is it a deterrent for this dangerous precedent? Again, from human rights point of view, how can you pronounce death penalty within 21 days? These are the provisions of these laws. The quick justice. What is this quick justice? Give them justice, create an atmosphere in the country so that boys and girls are equal, they look at them equally, and we have to get rid of this gender bias. That is most important. What is but what is happening? We are lost into the rhetoric of Mamata, rhetoric of Modi, but we are not getting into the real root cause of rape in India. That is there in our culture, that is there in our religion, that is there in our language, that is there in our textbooks. So we have to revise the entire system. Yes, of course, it is a social movement that has to be done together by the men and women, by the people, by the teachers, by the social movement, by the political parties. Nobody can say that we will enact a law and rape will vanish from the country. Nowhere, nowhere. Even in the European societies, there are rapes. But do they do 21 days the capital punishment? This is harsh. This is not acceptable from this is even not probably not legally acceptable. I'm not sure, but from human rights of the human rights point of view, this is absolutely criminal to say somebody you are a criminal and we are hanging you. This is not Saudi Arabia. This is not an Arab country. We are a civilized democracy, and we should introduce the democratic pattern of life, the
No,
democratic way of thinking.
no,
Men and women are equal.
no,
Yes,
but
that's the real challenge before the society.
but
Mamata is taking a very quick sidestep to divert the attention of the entire protest movement in the entire country. So that is what I feel, that this is the timing of this bill. Without this bill, you could have punished the criminal could have been punished with the existing laws in the country. You don't need to immediately implement, and even if this bill is passed, yeah,
Devashish, the
yeah.
entire opposition was with Mamata Banerjee. They supported Mamata Banerjee on that bill. Now, why do you think, if this is the logic which you gave, Arindam also gave that same logic, that there are already existing provisions, and if they had really wanted to, really intended to give justice, they could have easily punished the offender, and some kind of a justice could have been given to that to the family of that to that victim. But since she chose to fight this out politically by bringing in a law, and the entire opposition is also supporting her, what would you say to that?
Okay, we can support the amendment of the Indian Criminal Act. There is no problem. We will support it. No problem. Everybody will support taking amending this law. But will anybody support that by doing that you are trying to play innocent? You are not innocent. Everything that is happening, you are the ruling party. You have thumping majority in the
You are saying
assembly.
that
You are so yeah.
You are saying that Mamata is trying to play innocent by bringing in a law like this.
Oh, surely she's playing the role of an honest priest. If she's an honest priest, should
Right.
not have to. She should not have to enact quickly. She should not have to put this bill. This bill is a diverting attention of the focus of the movement of the people, and this is something. In the post-independence period, such a resistance movement has never occurred, neither in entire India. It's actually paving the way for women's liberation movement, and all males in the state and India, even abroad, we are extending support to that. So why not she comes one of them and support the entire movement? If she is really a protagonist of women's cause, how come this lady has been meaning raped and murdered this way? And how could police handle this so insensitive way? How could their parents were not allowed to see the dead body? Why so? What is this hush up game going on? So this is my question. So you played a hush up game, and now once you were exposed, you are bringing a bill. That bill will be a screen, only a blue screen. But this blue screen is not enough. You cannot hide behind this blue screen of this new bill that you have passed. You will be facing the public court every day, every minute. These kind of things are not acceptable in the country. Not only in Bengal, not only in Delhi Nidhya case, not only in the in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, or even in that in Noida. Nothing. We cannot accept this. Nowhere. No civilized country can afford to accept so many rapes. So I taught in foreign universities for a pretty long time, 25 years. The most important question that I faced from my European colleagues, they used to ask me, tell me one question, why in India so many rapes happen? Tell me. That was the question I faced when I was teaching abroad. And now I came back to Calcutta and I faced the same thing, the reality. Why so many rapes? I asked this question. Why so many rapes? If you are a lady protagonist, if you are a protagonist of the women, why can't you prevent? Why you are trying to shelter the people who are behind this criminal act? Why you
Right.
could not expose this criminal act? And Calcutta police is one of the best police force in the country. You made the police force inactive, and now the junior doctors are demanding the resignation of the police commissioner. But actually, what is happening is that this kind of thing cannot continue in the country. It is an uncivilized society where we live, where our daughters can be raped in the medical college, where she was treating the patients for 36 long hours. What is the justification? The parents now the parents will live without that daughter. Imagine I am her father. What would have been my response? Imagine you are her mother. What would have been your response? So imagine that girl would have been Mamata's daughter. What would have been Mamata's response? Would she enact a bill to get the
Right.
justice? That's my simple question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, let me go to Arindam now, and then I'll take the concluding comments from both of you. Arindam, then by bringing in a law like this, at the end of the day, what has Mamta told the people today? Apart from the political grandstanding she has done, but what kind of a message has she given today?
Basically, what I understand is that, as I told you, there was a demand of justice from all corners, and at least in my lifetime, I've never seen such a movement. Because what I find is normally what happens is something happens like this. We are in the streets for 7 days, 6 days, everything is gone. But now, suppose wherever we are going, the people are going at their own will. So that is a very tricky scenario for the political organizations. So whatever I find is that this, because getting this bill done and making it an act is a very difficult job, and I don't think that the government has not taken suggestion from the concerned advocates of their or whatever the legal system they have. But what they're trying is that they're trying to impress that we want a quick justice. But what is the fundamental of our constitution? What is the basis of Indian judiciary? It's very simple that if we are finding there are two accused, we find that they are guilty of some offense. If they go from the hand of the law, it's not a problem. But innocent people shouldn't be suffering any punishment. That's the basis of
Absolutely,
our constitution. So by
absolutely.
giving you are concluding an investigation in 21 days. Now just think about from the ninth till what day we are on the third, we have not been able to actually frame out who has done it. So how we
Absolutely.
expect in 21 days it will be concluded? So this
Right.
is nothing, but I don't know it's a political gimmick or whatever. But in a legal infrastructure, it cannot sustain. And today, with my limited knowledge of law, I can assure you that this is, I don't think it's going to get the consent of the president as well. But it's an formula which is being floated in the public just to divert the attention. But no
Right.
actual justice could have been delivered from this.
Right, right. You made an important point that it will not get the assent of the president, but before that, the most important thing is that it has to get the assent of the governor. And today,
Exactly.
the biggest question which Mamata Banerjee, I mean, she floated this point that the opposition should ask the governor to sign the bill. She said this point that the opposition should ask the governor to sign the bill. It is our responsibility to enact it as soon as that. That is what she said. So does it mean that now there'll be a whole lot of politics over signing of the bill? They have brought in a bill, but now the politics will, from here on, move towards signing of the bill.
I have an important point to add here. Uh, you should not look at the point only from the crime and justice. I mean to say, we should take the ethical imperatives of crime and punishment. The issue is not only a legal issue. The issue is empowering women economically, empowering women academically, educationally, empowering women socially. Every man and woman enjoys equal social right, equal educational right, equal, and they should be on the equal economic footing. As long as the women are deprived of their economic status, the torture of the women, you can't, the torture of women in the society will never vanish, however laws and amendments you do. The issue is we are all exploited in the social system, but women are doubly exploited. On the
Right.
one hand, they are
Absolutely.
exploited by the social capitalist system. On the other hand, they are exploited by the male everywhere. Every women today or tomorrow or yesterday must have faced this either in the family or among the friends or when they are married. You cannot. So where to
So,
get the justice? The law
right,
does not enter into the couple's bedroom. So
right.
where is the justice? The law does not enter into the classroom. Where is the
Hmm.
justice? Law does
Right,
not enter into the social, where Dalit women were tortured to death. Where are
right.
the, even we,
I'm running
would
short
you
of
have
time.
gone for a, yeah,
Yes, Debashish, I'm running short of time. I have to take the concluding comments from
okay,
Samir. That Samir,
okay,
from here
sure, sure.
on, does the politics, start from whether the governor of West Bengal will sign this bill? Can this bill become an act? Will it see the light of the day? Of course, bringing in and introducing a bill, that's different. The discussion of the bill, that's a different aspect. But then ultimately, the governor has to sign. Then it has to go for the president's assent. So, will this happen?
See, since the BJP has supported this bill, so I doubt that governor will sit on it. But that doesn't mean that politics over this entire issue will stop there. And the biggest fear in the state is this: the politics is now getting better over the real issue, and now even the party that garlands rapists give lectures on delivering justice. So that things will continue, and I think that Mamata Banerjee is now trying to expand the ambit of this issue from this localized Arjikar based issue to a larger
National.
nationwide problem, so that somehow the issue here gets diluted. That is her main political aim, but I don't know how far she will succeed in this. The way this movement is getting momentum, and the worst fear for the TMC is that if it spread to the rural areas, the TMC bastion, then she will have a real tough time in 2 years' time when West Bengal will go to poll.
We'll have to wait and watch how this entire rape law, which has been introduced by the Mamata Banerjee, how does it unfold in the coming days? And more significantly than the law, will this victim ever get the justice? Will the family of the victim find closure? In so many days, the protests have not died down. And here you have a chief minister of the state who's trying to silence the anger, who's trying to cover up her shortcomings by bringing in a law. So I would end the program by just a simple question: is law the answer to this problem, which West Bengal is seeing and which the entire country is witnessing for the past so many days. I'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Arindam Das, Debashish, Samir. It was wonderful having all of you on the program. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us a feedback, and stay tuned to the Fed. Thank you.